Stumble Lighthouse, and we're doing 7.1 knots, so we've got about 1.5 to knocking on the door, 2 knots going with us, so there's a bit of overfalls on the approach. But this is just around the corner from here is Fishguard, so done well. Been quite a pleasant passage across, isn't it, Jen?
Yeah, really pleasant.
Yeah. That's the St David's right down there. Yeah, so we've cruised along this coastline. It's very nice, very pretty. Quite exposed. Oh, good. 7.2 knots. 7.3. Boat speed is 4.7, so not. It's not. It's just obviously the tide.
This is overfalls. Huh? Probably really hard to see. They really do create turbulent waters though.
Yeah, we're in an eddy now, so it's back to 5 knots.
But we got up to how many knots, David?
9.
9 knots going through that. You can still see them all around the outside there. So there is a route through the middle, which I think, David, you did really well.
Poppy absolutely loved checking out the dolphins from the edge of the boat. And this is us approaching Fishguard, and it was a real pleasure to get around St David's Head after such a difficult couple of days trying to get through fog and tides and wind. So this was a real achievement to get in here. And we had a quick walk, we got in late, we had a quick walk into Fishguard Harbour itself and found a cutesy little old pub where then he took cash only, and Poppy was a great fan there.
Now the inshore waters forecast issued by the Met Office at 0500 UTC on Monday the 5th of June 2023. Inshore waters forecast to 12 miles offshore. For the period 0600 UTC, Monday the 5th of June to 0600 UTC, Tuesday the 6th of June 2023. General situation. High pressure setting in the northwest of the United Kingdom will remain slow moving during the next couple of days.
Although this was probably the calmest time of the year to be crossing the Cardigan Bay, and we had really favourable winds, it was still very choppy, and it just made us appreciate how bad Cardigan Bay could be if the wind picked up with the tide against you. Jen was struggling. She wasn't enjoying this passage at all. So after taking quite a few hours to get across Cardigan Bay, we reached Portkelly harbour, where we're obviously approaching at a favourable tide, and we had to wait outside for a while as we didn't quite make the tide in the time it took to get from Fishguard to Portkelly. But lovely little approach, quite a tight little channel through here, and we had to really be careful not to ground out because we were going in a bit early as well. What we also realised was that Port Kelly had the advantage of having a railway station right in the harbour, well, just in the town, and it was walking distance from the marina, so we decided that this would be a really good opportunity to park up the boat for a few days and to pop down to see our daughter Francesca in Portsmouth harbour on the other end of the country, which seems a bit nuts going all the way from North Wales down to Portsmouth, but we were really missing her, so that's what we decided to do, and we caught the train.
Do you think we've come right across that bay?
Yeah, definitely. It's beautiful. Vast.
Oh, it's tidal. Look at the race down here.
Just make sure
This train ride turned out to be quite a scenic route that we didn't appreciate at first. It went around all of the areas that we missed on the crossing of Cardigan Bay and picked up the towns of Aberystwyth and locations that we didn't see close up. So this was a real treat, and you'd pay good money to go and see this. And there were daily commutes with school children and all sorts, just commuting as normal, but it was stunning. It took a long time to get around, about 3 and a bit hours, but as we were coming inland we realised that there's an opportunity ahead. We managed to catch up with James, our son, in Newport as the train approached there, and that was a real treat. It was only a quick visit, a coffee, and then on again. After about a 9-hour train ride from north of Wales across to Portsmouth, we managed to catch up with Chessie in the afternoon sun. Went for a jolly old bike ride.
Hello, Jess. Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're everywhere.
No, that's all right. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you had earphones in.
Ah.
Of course, we were on a hunt for a good pub, and Chessie knew of one which was right next to the water edge, and it was quite a lovely sunset and amazing evening. I didn't appreciate how busy Portsmouth Harbour was, and it was crazy to see all the big ships coming in and out.
Back in Plymouth again.
So what felt like a really long day, we ended up back at the Airbnb with Francesca and her work colleagues to have some food and enjoy the evening, and then back on the train the following day into London to go and see my sister. So making the best of all opportunities in this round trip. So going through London is always hectic, but with Poppy in the front of the basket of the Brompton bikes, it's always an additional interest.
What about these guys?
Okay. Get back in.
Come on, in.
Why should it be
Oh, I don't know. I think she's got a little route to come down here now. Country park. Oh, very nice. Hello. Oh. So what turned out to be a successful round trip from Portsmouth through London, we ended up back at Portsmouth and moved the boat to a little bay just outside around Barnsley Sound and had a walk around the headland. But in all seriousness, what was on top of our minds was my chin, which we did get some medical treatment down in Portsmouth, and they gave me some medication which didn't seem to have any effect. So here we are, called it Percy the Pig at the time, but it was getting a bit more serious, and we decided that we needed to get to the Isle of Man as soon as possible to get some medical treatment.
This morning we're heading off, well actually it's midday, around Barnsley Sound. The reason we've waited until midday is because we had to do it at slack waters. You get all these overfalls on these points, which obviously we've talked about in the past. But it's quite a misty day. Forecast is good, so we're hoping that this will dissipate as the day goes on. So we made a call and we're turning around, going back.
This suddenly came in though. You can see the top of the hill just a minute.
Yeah, I recorded this just now, and we've already got 1 knot tied against
More
us.
than that, but it's turned already, tides on us.
So
We've got about 1.5 knots already on our nose.
1.5 knots. That's within how many minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. But yeah, we're doing the right thing. Never go out in fog. And the forecast is saying that
Well, you can't even see the headland.
you can't see the headland now. It's not.
The idea was to hug the headland.
Yeah, we're really, really close here to the headland. So the passage obviously is going to take us further out. So that's it. I've just been for a swim here. Really over there, all on the road. And there's no fog. But better to be safe than sorry. And we're now going to go for a walk and find a pub. Seems to be a theme, doesn't it? Pubs. Walks and pubs. That's good. Day 2. Exactly the same spot as I recorded yesterday, and it's much clearer.
So, we're just going around.
So, I've got to stop saying so.
So, we're just going around this.
No, so we're just going around. So, we're just going around. Yeah.
Barnsley Sound.
Barnsley Sound.
On our way up to the Isle of Man, we rounded Barnsley Sound and headed up towards Holyhead. But instead of going into the harbour itself, we decided to anchor just in front, and the weather conditions were absolutely amazing. You couldn't have done this otherwise. And it was a real gem of a place. We found this crazy little bar and had a great evening where it was quite a boaty theme place. So that was the evening, and the following day we were keen to get off towards the Isle of Man and find some hospital or doctors.
Poppy has now found her sea legs and becoming far more confident. She's currently on dolphin watch. She likes to bark at them. She thinks they're great big dogs under the water.
The Isle of Man was our longest passage from one location to the next, from Holyhead to the Isle of Man. So that was quite an achievement. We found ourselves in Peel Harbour, which was met a really nice harbour master who looked after us. And then we ended up going the following day to Douglas Hospital, where I got my chin looked at. And then after that, we used the electric railway up to Ramsey, and then caught a bus all the way back down to Peel. So we had a really incredible round tour of the island, but as you can see here, I got some significant treatment from an on-call doctor who really looked after me. So all in all, I was sorted. Happy days. We could proceed on with our journey.